Okay, so post-trade period, we're going to have a crack at making Collingwood's predicted 23 for next year. We are going to assume that we have acquired Membry and Tomlinson for the sake of the structure of the team. And we know that Ned Long, Charlie Dean, and Reef McInnes are still to be decided on when it comes to their contract negotiations. But once again, we'll just assume that they're going to be a part of Collingwood next year for the sake of this predicted 23. So we'll start with our backline. And we can start with one of our new recruits, Harry Perryman, in the back pocket. So put him there. So he'll be a really good acquisition, really good with his ball use and great leadership traits. Darcy Moore's an obvious one there. Howie will still play as that intercepting third key tall. And then this one is a simple one in another recruit, Dan Houston, running off the half back line. We know Perryman might play midfield at some point, but for now it seems like he's going to be in the back line. And then at centre half back, we are going to go with old mate Tomlinson, who should hopefully be coming to Collingwood. So let's just pray that that actually does come to fruition. And then how can we not forget the blood, sweat and tears of the club? What have I done here? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me cook this up. So Brayden Maynard, okay? So looking at that, I feel like that is probably Collingwood's best back six. Yes, Isaac Quaynor's not there. I'm going to fit Quaynor into the bench. I just couldn't fit him before Perryman. I couldn't fit him in before Houston. I definitely couldn't fit him in before Howe. Moore and Tomlinson are sort of the twin towers, and then Brayden Maynard, he just sort of does it all in the back line. So that's my justification as to why we don't have a Quaynor in the back line. So what we might even do now is I will just actually make that assignment now, and let's get Isaac Quaynor on the bench. Okay, I'll just use this. We'll just use his last name on a last name basis. If there's a Luke Quaynor next year, we might have to start using the I's and L's before we put the Q's. So, moving on to our midfield. So, on one wing, I would like to see Josh Dacos. Do we put Harvey Harrison in? That's an interesting one. I'm going to say we're going to put Harvey Harrison in the injury list. So let's put him on like a long-term injury list for now. I think he'll play halfway through the year, maybe a little bit later. But for now, I can't put him in this predicted 23 if he's not going to be there for the first half of the year. So let's put Harvey Harrison there. Harvey Harrison, cool. Happy days. Not happy days for Harvey Harrison, but for this video, it's going to be happy days. Okay. So we've got Josh Dacos on one wing. We know what he did on the half back line, but he's not needed there anymore, and that's a good thing because we can put Josh Dacos forward of centre. And I'd like to see Josh Dacos play on ball at some point next year as well, but I think predominantly will be a winger. And then on the other side, it has to be Mr. Steele side bottom. That's pretty obvious to me. He played some good footy in the midfield, but I think he's going to be hard pressed for that position. Pendlebury there, once again, seems like still seems like a starter, even though he'll be 37 years old next year. Unreal stuff, really. I think Crisp will have to play a half forward flank and maybe rotate on a wing. Might get 20-30% midfield time, but I think his prime position will be, or I guess his primary position next year will be a half-forward flanker, just to allow, I guess, Perryman to have an opportunity, Josh Dacos to have an opportunity, maybe Houston. We know Nick Dacos will be there, Jordan De Goey will be healthy, Tom Mitchell might be there in some capacity, depending where I put him. But these are the things that Crisp does. He does sacrifice being the guy of the team for other players to thrive. That's what I love about Jack Crisp the most. We saw him halfway through the year where he had to really I guess, carry the burden of the injuries and just dominated in the midfield. He could do that, but has to make space for De Goey, Nick Dacos, Tom Mitchell, Pendlebury, so on and so forth. So that's where that one lies at the moment. We will have Tim Membry at centre half forward. Love that. This is going to be an interesting experiment, and I'll tell you why. Because we're going to have a bunch of tools in this team. So let's go. We're going to go Lockie Schultz here. Schultz, shooter. So trust him to bounce back next year. Bobby Hill. This is interesting. Bobby Hill. We'll just put Hill. We know when we say Hill, we know who we're talking about. And then McStay. I'm telling you, this is going to be fascinating, guys. Somebody's not going to be happy. Hill, McStay, and then there was Elliott. There we go. Ruck. That's an obvious one, guys. We're going to go Mace. Cameron. Nakos has to be the next one. And then we're going to say, hopefully De Goey's fit and firing next year. I really do. It's such a shame he just can't get himself on the pitch. Does he play more of a midfield forward split? I'm not too sure. So there is like our starting 20 or starting 18 on the field. Let's go here. This is where it gets interesting, right? So I think we have to put Maya check in. Okay. This is gonna get messy. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss players. I really am. I'm gonna miss players. Ed Allen, you'd have to say plays, right? You'd have to say he gets some sort of a game. And then if I'm putting McCreary in, right? Like, look at this, okay? If I'm putting McCreary here, we're already talking Mason Cox. Like, this is already a problem for me. Can I spell properly? Probably not. Oh, gosh. Do we put Allen here? And then we go... see, this is what happens when we bring in quality players who are ready to play. Houston, Perryman, Tomlinson, Membry. This sucks already. This sucks, Coxie. It's a tall team. It really is, and that's what I'm going for in this one. All right, let's talk VFL. In no particular order, we are talking about Mitchell. Yeah, we're talking about Markov. Okay, fair enough, right? We've got Ryan. We've got Hoskin Elliott. I don't know how you guys feel about that one. We've got Finn McRae. We've still got McInnes in the back in the VFL, unfortunately. What else do we have? We've got Sullivan. Did I say Markov? Who else have we got here? Lipinski might struggle. Guys, this is tough, man. I'm looking forward to what you guys think in the comment section, because this is definitely a very difficult task. Ash Johnson, obvious one for now. Johnson. Who else have we got? Will Parker. TJ. Harry Demetria. Hey, it looks like we're going to have a strong VFL side, at least this year, next year, if we're fully healthy, right? How many do we have on the list right now? Ilaru Smith is another one who is a really exciting prospect. And then we got Oscar Steen, who's there as well. We just move this down. Okay, so let's see. How many have we got here? Let's do, so 18, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, which is what we have. We have 33 players on the senior list. We have 5 rookies. We have 1 rookie B, who is Will Parker. All right, so let's discuss the VFL players. So Tom Mitchell, right? If Tom Mitchell is healthy and fit and firing, I think he will be in the first team. Who does he come in for is the question. He'd be in direct competition with someone like Ed Allen, albeit he's our youth. He'd be in competition with side bottom, if side bottom's playing midfield, he'd be in competition with Pendlebury to a certain extent, right? Like these are the players that he's fighting for a position next year, right? Markov, I just think he's going to be good VFL depth. Jacob Ryan is exciting, and I'm keen to see how he goes next year. I'd like to see Ryan get some games at some point through injury or excelling at VFL. Hoskin Elliott, we know how versatile he is, so even though I got him in the VFL, I don't know if he actually ends up there because of how versatile he is and if there's any injuries. Knock on wood, we don't have many injuries. McInnes is another one. Sullivan will probably be VFL. Markov, I've got Markov there twice, so maybe I am missing someone. Okay, give me 1 second. Billy Frampton, guys. Sorry, Billy Band-Aid. All right, there we go. Yeah, Billy Frampton will also be in the VFL. He'll be, if Tomlinson doesn't hold up, then it's Frampton or Dean. Have we got Dean here? Have we got a Charlie Dean? No, we don't. Goodness. Have we got a Ned Long? No, we don't. What have I done? I've got 39. What have I miscounted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Oh, okay, I see what I've done. So we have 41 once we include Tomlinson and Membry. My apologies. All right, so we've added Dean and Long as well to the VFL. Long's probably one of those players again who's behind Mitchell, who's behind Sullivan. Well, that's a lie. I've got Long ahead of Sullivan. Markov, we said depth. Lipinski will be an interesting one. Ash Johnson is probably just VFL depth. Will Parker looked good against Melbourne, albeit a training simulation type of game. TJ maybe needs another year at VFL level. Dimitir, with the really good preseason, could be fighting for a position in the back line. Although when you got Perryman, Houston, Howe, Maynard, who can all use the ball relatively well, it's going to be hard for those younger halfback flankers to crack into their side now. I mean, it was difficult with John Noble in the side, and now we've just upgraded our backs, our running backs twofold. Okay, we've got Smith, who's a prospect. Steen, need to find out a bit more about Steen. Charlie Dean is probably on par with Frampton, behind Tomlinson. And Long, like I said, we've already mentioned. Harvey Harrison, hopefully if he comes back from injury, he will be all good. Okay? So that's where we have this side right now. It's conflicting, so I'm just going to cut to chase, and I want you guys to get in the comment section ASAP and tell me what you think about this team, because I feel like I've done it with all fairness and keeping you guys in mind as well. And that's what I think we look like going into opening round of 2025. See you guys soon. Go Pies.